Welcome back, and we're joined now by Connor Johnson, a one-time soccer player for the Pilots and a current senior on the track team. Connor, thanks for joining us.
Adam, much appreciated. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Let's first by taking a look back at your soccer career. You spent 4 years at the Pilots as a defender. That was capped by the magical season 2016. You guys won the West Coast Conference title, went to the playoffs. Talk about what it was like to be a part of that.
It was incredible. The journey in itself for the 4 years spent with people that I've now consider lifelong friends, and to cap it off again in late November 2016 was a good way to be ending what at that time what was my soccer career. So yeah, it was special. It was really special to have, I think, 5,000 people rush at the stadium with the entire student section rush the field. Was a nice little send off. So yeah, it was great. It was great.
And you mentioned it, that was the end of one career, and then you embarked on another career. Talk about the process that took you from the soccer team to the cross-country team and now track team.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and most people I don't think really understand that. Well, why would you go from doing something that just seems way more easy, I suppose, into something that a lot of people consider to be torture, and that's running 10-plus miles on a daily. But my twin and I had a passion for running most of our lives. Our parents grew up running, and when I moved to the University of Portland, I knew that they had a pretty storied program in cross country, and we knew guys like Jeff Thies as freshmen and guys like David Perry, Scott Fauble, Woody Kincaid, who were a little older than us, and we would always talk about, oh man, how fun and great does that look. And then, yeah, come Christmas time of my senior year here at Portland, my twin and I again discussed it a little bit and decided that we might give this a semester a shot because we had to finish our degrees anyway. So, yeah, we decided to jump into track, and it went decently well. And here I am today, a year and a half later, talking to you.
So you just one day decided to go knock on Rob Connor's door and say, hey, coach.
Yeah, basically. Reed Buchanan had transferred in from Kansas, and he planted the seed in our heads thinking that, hey, you guys could potentially just run track for the semester. If you wanted to, I'd say Rob would have he would be a pleasure to have you guys, basically is what he said. So, yeah, we went to go speak with Rob, and he said, let's do it, a little experiment. He's never had anyone try to do that before from a different athletics program into his. So, yeah, spent the spring with Rob and the boys, and it was an insane experience, one I will never forget. So.
And I imagine there are a lot of differences between soccer and cross-country and track. Talk about some of what those differences are.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, with soccer, of course, doing it my whole life, it was, and again, running is incorporated into soccer, but soccer was something I played every day of the week, kicked the ball around. It was the biggest part of my life. And that was such a natural thing. The transition into college was, okay, this daily life of soccer is normal, and it's wonderful, enjoyable, whereas running, that transition into running was a bit of a shock. I didn't realize that these guys put in so many miles a day, and it was, I guess, what was so attractive about it was the challenge that it posed, just in all aspects of my life, trying to figure out how to fit in 70, 80, 90 miles a week.
Wow.
So yeah, soccer was, in my mind, it came just a bit easier than the running, and I think that new challenge in my life was a big part of why I decided to go into it.
So you finished your undergrad work, currently in grad school. What are you studying here at UP?
Yeah, I'm doing my Master's of Science in Finance. It's a cool program, a really cool program. It's really quantitative, so just hitting the numbers every day, which is, good fun.
So as your career does wind down here at UP, take a moment to reflect back and think about, or tell us what this school has meant to you and how special it was to share it with your twin brother, Rory.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, this whole college process was not anything that was really on my radar. In high school, all I did was want to play soccer, and I was hoping maybe graduate high school and then move abroad and try to figure out how I could play maybe in Europe or something. Fortunately, the people around us kind of guided us into maybe the possibility of going to college, and Portland came onto the radar late senior year of high school, and man, that absolutely opened up the doors to so many things. My twin and I were the first college-educated people in our family, which was pretty exciting. I will have the master's degree, the first of the master's degree, beating him out, which is nice. But no, this school has meant everything to me. It's been such a integral part of my life and probably the biggest growth experience I've had thus far. So, and that's with friends, contacts, networking, just the knowledge obtained. Yeah, no, it's been, I owe this school everything. I really do.
Talk about Rob Connor specifically. What's it like? What's it been like to run for RC?
I don't know. The legends are true. That guy, has some way of getting the best out of each and one of his athletes, from the first guy to the 40th guy on the roster. And I think anyone and everyone would agree with that. He's just got utter passion for the sport, and I think that sinks in or drips down into everyone else. And yeah, he has built some empire, dynasty. So,
Connor Johnston, former soccer player, current runner for the Portland track team. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in Eugene this weekend.
Much appreciated, Adam. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Coming up next, distance runner Lauren LaRocco puts her talents to use in the medical field. Portside of the Pilots continues after the break.